very productive in that game, 38 points and 28 rebounds from the bench of Pepsi in that ball game. Pepsi actually, they don't really have too many of what we call the marquee type players here in the PBA, but they do have a solid core of veterans, some youngsters who want to fit into the PBA. An outstanding coach in Derek Kumaran, by the way. Congratulations to Derek for winning yesterday in the PBL Championship, the Philippine Cup, with the Triple V team. So maybe he's hoping that the kind of victory and the kind of determination showed by his amateur team will be carried over to them.
Some support to Abed Gidaban. Lalo Valenciano, by the way, is reported to be seeing action this afternoon for
Yes,
Pepsi.
they need him badly because for one against San Miguel Beer, if I remember right, Pepsi got off slowly in the first quarter. They were trailing, which is why Laning Valenciano, who can get off very quick of the slower starters, those guys who take some time to heat up, get into a position to start their own momentum. As it is, Valenciano is a very good starter for Pepsi. If he's playing today, maybe Pepsi will give Pepsi a bigger chance going up against Ginebra San Miguel.
As we mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, in the early goings of this first conference, it seems that it's a very intense, a very close fight among the 8 teams. Shades of the presidential elections. Eight entities, and we don't really know which one or which among them would make it to the semis and then the final round of the first conference. We're going to have Ginebra San Miguel going up against Pepsi, our first game this afternoon. But first, I'd just like to say hello to an aunt of mine who has been in the hospital for over a month, and she's feeling better. Miss Amparo na, she's at the Manila.
Starting for Pepsi. Set number 32, Ginebra. Guard number 13, Austria. Guard number 9, Valenciano. 25, Babylonia. 24, Stevenson. Starting for Ginebra San Miguel. 32, Cole. Guard number 25, Harencio. Guard number 12, Gonzalgo. Over number 5, Cabatu. Over number 41, Noizaga.
Back to the National Academy of Sports Arena, or the NASA, as the Ultra is down now. The starting hitters on your screen. Ginebra starting off with Gonzalgo, Harencio, Cole, Loizaga, and Cabatu. Pepsi with Valenciano, Austria, Gidaban, Babylonia, and Stevenson. First possession goes to Ginebra San Miguel.
Cast of white bodies right off the bat for Ginebra San Miguel, Ed.
A lot of beef here.
Yes.
Tino Harencio goes inside and almost got the bucket. Guido Babylonia. Inside pass to Stevenson. Cole was a bit late in trying to go after him, and the first 2 points belong to the Pepsi HOTSHOTS.
Cole missing from the outside, trying to establish the outside game right away. That's what Ginebra's trying to do. Of course, Ginebra's well noted for their perimeter shooting.
Stevenson's second attempt won't go. Sonny Cabatu putting the ball on the floor. Almost, but not quite. Jervis Cole can't get it to drop either. Play Austria. Gidaban inside, was fouled on the way, and that was referee Baglaya actually called the foul. He's the one on the left. Of course, the others are referees Rivera and De Leon. Two charities awarded to Ahmed Gidaban, missing the first.
We saw his numbers earlier, but just in case you just tuned in, he had 16.7 rebounds in the first game against San Miguel Beer,
which they lost.
Yes.
Split charities by Ahmed Gidaban gives them a 3-0 count. Naring Valenciano is starting off for the Pepsi Cola Hotshots. He's watching Dante Gonzalgo. Jervis Cole gets a pick from Chito Loizaga. On the turn, he gets the shot with a foul from Ginebra Babilonia, who switched off on him. First foul on Ginebra Babilonia. That's a towering jumper by Jervis Cole.
Well, Cole figures to have his hands full against the locals of Pepsi, some of whom have been fielded in, some of their taller players, to try and defend against Cole. Stevenson a little bit shorter than Jervis Cole. He may not be guarding Jervis until possibly the fourth period.
Jervis Cole just signed a charity in his first game this year. He struggled from there, 4 out of 9 from the free throw line. That time he lost possession on a near steal that he actually engineered as Coach Derek Pumaran.
Wonder how much sleep he had last night.
Not much, I would surmise. Tight pass inside intended for Stevenson, but Jervis Cole tapped it. Sonny Cabato with a dish off to Cole. Chito Loizaga. Ginebra passing the ball around, looking for the open man. Great rejection there by Mark Stevenson on the shot of Dante Gonzalgo.
Gonzalgo thought he had the free lane, but Stevenson was lurking there.
We're deadlocked at 3-all. Chito Loizaga with a good fake off Stevenson. Finds Dante Gonzalgo cutting in. And Ginebra takes the lead for the first time at 5-3. Leo Austria off to Naning Valenciano. Over the inside as he looked for a receiver there. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Leo Austria using a triple V.
A very long triple V connection for Austria, who among the three-point guards of Coach Derek Pumaran at the moment played the most minutes in their game against San Miguel Beer. 32 minutes in all.
Dante Gonzalgo pops from left quarter court and misses. Austria pushing the ball up. Off to Gidaben. Stevenson. 360 over. Cole won't go, and Gonzalgo has the rebound for Ginebra San Miguel. Jervis Cole with the jumper.
Over Babilonia. You can see philosophy of the two coaches differing here in the first quarter, with Cole guarding Stevenson at the other end and Cole being guarded by the local at the other end.
Ginebra Babilonia. Foul on the play. It's going to be on Pidot, who's exchanging some words with Mark Stevenson.
Yes, kind of a tough foul given up by Pidot.
Inbounds by Babilonia to Leo Austria. Here's Gidaben. Chito Loizaga is on him. A miss by Gidaben, and a loose ball foul is going to be called on the play.
Foul, Babilonia.
This time it's Ginebra Babilonia picking up foul number 2 with 8:31 to go in the first quarter.
Well, that's what Ginebra Babilonia is there for, actually, to pick up some rebounds, guard the import of the other team. That's why he was taken in by Coach Derek Pumaran.
That was a power move by Sonny Cabato up against Ahmed Gidaben. Some help defense being given up. But Gidaben will be charged with the foul. Watch it here. Actually, 3 hot shots ganged up on Sonny Cabato. Cabato picking up the foul from Ahmed Gidaben. They still love Sonny Cabato, especially when he's on the free throw line.
Yes, he had 5.6 rebounds in their game against Alaska, also 3 assists. That's one thing noticeable now about Ginebra San Miguel, Ed. The way this team has been moving the ball around. When in years past they would rather rely on the one-on-one talents of their players, now they realize they have to get the ball moving.
That was a picture-perfect drive there from Ahmed Gidaben to even up the count again at 8-all. Sonny Cabato rushing forward and picking up another foul. The first game that Ginebra San Miguel had,
Valenciano.
Sonny Cabato actually scored 3 out of 3 from the free throw line. In the last play, Sonny Cabato was again at the charity lane, and he had a split. Let's see how he fares out now. Well, obviously, he's been working on that, the free throw.
Cabato actually began his career as a backup center, then became a starting center for some teams in the past. And now he's supposed to be on the downside of his career, should be a backup by now. But with Ginebra San Miguel, Sonny Cabato hoping to rediscover the talents that made him a two-time MVP in the amateur ranks.
Amateur ranks, that's true. There's that play again for Mike Stevenson.
Playing cat and mouse with Jervis Cole. Those kinds of plays will work definitely, Ed, for Pepsi if Stevenson gets a lot of help from his teammates.
And if Cole doesn't get a lot of help from his teammates.
Yes.
7:20 to go in the first quarter. Jervis Cole.
Just flashing to the paint, getting the entry pass, then turning for the basket.
2-point lead here for Ginebra San Miguel. Abet Gidaben. Getting Valenciano with a snap shot in left corner. And Sonny Cabato grabs the rebound off to Dante Gonzalgo. The handoff to Pino Jarencho. Ooh. He lost the handle on that shot. Oh, that's going to be a backing violation.
Yeah, Stevenson trying to give it back to his point guard to set up the fast break properly. But in doing so, the ball went past the midcourt line.
Score standing at 12-10 in favor of Ginebra San Miguel. Chito Loizaga off to Jervis Cole. Cole gets inside and to change his shot. And here's Leo Austria for Pepsi. Stevenson pulls up. Sonny Cabato trying to tap the ball. And Abet Gidaben had to sidestep off Pino Jarencho. Jarencho, however, will be charged with his third personal foul.
Yes, and actually it was a good foul given up by Jarencho because it was a 5-2 opportunity, but in doing so, that was his third foul, and Ginebra San Miguel needs offense in this game.
Well, Pino Jarencho can't be sacrificed, so he's going to sit it out in favor of J.V. Gayoso. Paul Eleanor also just came in for Pepsi in lieu of David Valenciano. An offensive foul is going to be called on Mark Stevenson. Good positioning there by Jervis Cole. .6:20 to go in the first period. Cabato on a give and go with Dante Gonzalgo.
But Gonzalgo just looked back at the hoop to check if the ball went in.
Well, Sonny Cabato was all eyes at Dante Gonzalgo after getting the pass. He knew Gonzalgo was going to cut inside. Gidaben shakes off Chito Loizaga, not quite. And we have the first time out of the ball game by Ginebra San Miguel.
Timeout, Ginebra San Miguel.
We have 5 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and it is a 4-point lead now by Ginebra San Miguel. And we have a substitution of the Pepsi side. Manny Victorino coming in to replace Guido Babilonia.
Well, I sort of have expected the Coliseum to be full, and it certainly is.
Pretty good crowd.
Yes, teaming with a lot of people, especially since I believe this is probably the only team that Ginebra will be playing in which they are somehow the favorites to win. Although, of course, here in the PBA, nothing is certain. Sometimes the lowest ranked team can play a very good game and knock off the top team.
As we said, after 1 week of play, we still can't say with some degree of certainty which teams are going to go into the semis or into the finals itself. Foul called on Sonny Cabato.
Although readers of the Weekly Sports Mirror, for which I write a weekly column, would probably know that I already made my choices as to which teams should make the finals based just on the first couple of playing days, based on the first impressions and the rosters of the teams.
I admire your guts.
You said guts, not gut.
No.
Okay, thanks.
16-11 is the count in favor of Ginebra San Miguel. Chito Loizaga has it against Stevenson. Sani Kabatu.
Sharp angle trajectory.
They also kept it alive. Jervis Cole got the ball stripped away by Abed Kidapin, but he recovers. Gayoso is open for the triple V. Yes, sir.
Gayoso, 3 points.
Gayoso did not have a good game the first time out, but he hopes to make amends against Pepsi this afternoon.
Well, he is certainly one of the more popular players of Ginebra San Miguel, especially among the ladies. And, of course, there's no reason to explain that popularity. You only have to look at him. Mark Anthony Talia comes in to play point guard. Traveling violation of Mike Stevenson.
Yes, he had his foot planted and he lifted it to begin his move.
Biggest lead of the ball game, an 8-pointer being enjoyed by Ginebra San Miguel. Oh, this is a mismatch if I ever saw one. Gayoso being watched by Mark Anthony Talia, and Gayoso uses that to the hilt. Going underneath and scoring off Talia. We have another timeout. 27 seconds remaining in the first quarter. A big 11-1 run here by Ginebra San Miguel has given them a 10-point lead.
And a major reason for that is the turnovers plaguing Pepsi here in the early going. Ginebra so far has not turned the ball over.
Oops, talking about turnovers.
That's number 6 for Pepsi.
And Dr. Gonzaga missing. Sani Kabato with an offensive rebound, but he is clipped. And it looks like Mark Anthony Talio is a culprit. First foul on Talio.
Alulor is now replaced by Ginebra, second round pick of Pepsi in the last amateur draft. Probably wearing jersey number 10 because he was the 10th pick overall.
Could be. Coming out of the PBL tournaments, played for Crispa.
Yes.
Ginebra also hails from the south, where he earned his spurs playing in the very competitive leagues there in Cebu.
Kabatu, yes, all 5 of his points coming through the free throw line, Ed.
And Mark Anthony Talia completing a PEP 24 fast break for Pepsi, just ignoring the defenses put up by the Ginebra San Miguel players in that particular situation. That's the first 2 points of Pepsi in quite a spell. Chito Loizaga looking around for a receiver. Finally goes to Gayoso. Mark Anthony Talio is going to be slapped with the second personal foul.
Foul, Talio.
Well, that's one of the major problems of Derek Pumaran in this game. The fact that all 3 of his point guards are really quite small. Remember when he never used to play San Miguel a lot, and he never had all these big guards, and
right.
San Miguel had all these small guards. Sometimes Carmen Pumaran would never get into the game.
That's true. Here's Jervis Cole taking it to Manny Victorino. And another foul is called this time on Manny Victorino. And they're already in penalty. Of course, that was also in the act of shooting.
Remember, only with 5 team fouls here in the first, which has 3 minutes and 25 seconds to run.
But already a lot of free throws have been awarded to Ginebra San Miguel. Jervis Cole missing on the first free throw. As we said, he only had 4 out of 9 from the stripe in their first game, which they lost in overtime. More free throwing woes for Jervis Cole. Manny Victorino gets inside.
Wild shot over Cole.
J.B. Gayoso has it. Chito Loizaga comes to the rescue. Stevenson watching him.
And putting Stevenson on Loizaga will really draw him out. That really put him in a good rebounding position. 4-on-2 break.
Stevenson.
Lead-in shot against Chito Loizaga.
Mark Stevenson now with 7 points. Chito Loizaga with a good fake off Stevenson. Snap shot won't go, and Dante Gonzaga has the rebound. Ginebra deflected that shot. Here's Talio. Again getting inside. Manny Victorino with a follow-up. Talio off to Stevenson up against Kabatu. And that's 9 points for the Pepsi Cola import.
And Pepsi playing with a lot more organization now. They're crashing the boards, cutting the lead of Ginebra to just 6 at this juncture.
Biggest lead of this ballgame was erected by Ginebra at 23-11, was at 12 points. So it's a 6-0 run here by the Pepsi Cola Hotshots. As Jervis Cole is fouled again, he will once more troop to the 4.5-meter line.
Which is turning out to be a good percentage play on the part of Pepsi.
Since Jervis Cole missed his last 2 free throws.
1 of 3 so far in this game from the line.
1 of 4. Usually 25% output from there.
Yes, his shots keep hitting the back iron. Maybe he should move back a bit.
Well, it's right there at the line. Well, he made the adjustment. 24-17 is the count. 7-point lead for Ginebra San Miguel. Jun Habar off to Manny Victorino. Manny Victorino with a nice pass to Mark Stevenson. No look assist there by Manny Victorino.
When one of the Ginebras tried to help out against Victorino, Stevenson was left open.
Another Pep 24 fast break. That time Jun Habar. That's what he does best.
Yes, complete the fast break play. Habar was scoreless in his first game as a pro. 0 for 3 from the field, although he did get 14 minutes of playing time that day.
This time it's Pepsi Cola Hotshots. The Pepsi Cola Hotshots turn for a blast, a 10-1 run. And another turnover by Ginebra San Miguel has a 3-on-3 break rolling for Pepsi Cola. And that shot is counted for Mark Stevenson with a foul from J.B. Gayoso.
He also tried to do everything he could to prevent Stevenson from getting that shot. He also had some help from Dante Gonzaga, but Stevenson getting a good break.
A lot of power being displayed here by Mark Stevenson. Had to pump in midair for that shot. And completes the 3-point play. And now matters have been evened up again. This is our 4th deadlock. Pepsi Cola Hotshots coming back from a 12-point deficit. So it's a 13-1 burst here by the Hotshots.
Never unable to get the ball to Gayoso to exploit that mismatch.
Outside for Ginebra San Miguel. 46 seconds to go in the first quarter. Quick pass to J.B. Gayoso with the side of the board.
Another fast break for Pepsi.
And Manny Victorino completes it to put Pepsi in the lead by 2 at 26-24.
Ginebra has been unable to check those fast breaks. Talio, which began when Talio came in, Talio just pushing it up very hard.
Jervis Cole was off balance in that play, but he picked himself up. And let's see, a delay of game warning might be called here.
Warning on Ginebra San Miguel. Call for delaying the game.
Only 19 seconds left in the first period. And we're deadlocked at 26. Mark Anthony Talio getting some instructions from the sidelines from Coach Derek Pumaran.
Yes, they're thinking of taking the last shot. Let's see what play they call out. Overload on the left side.
Talio being watched by Gayoso. Manny Victorino cutting inside. No shot there, but there was a foul given up by Dante Gonzago. That's his second personal.
Well run play by Pepsi that time. Talia drawing the defense to him. Victorino curling inside. Just a bit unlucky that the ball did not fall through the hoop.
We're down to 3 seconds in the first quarter.
Hasn't been a good day for free throw shooting in.
Nope.
Except for Sonny Cabato, who's 5 of 6.
Patty Victorino spilling his charities. The inbounds to Sonny Cabato. And, Matt Stevenson actually had a steal, but Abed Ginebra lost the ball on that try. Let's see that again. There's Mark Stevenson tapping the ball out of Cabato's hands, but Abed Ginebra just lost it. We'll be back with the second quarter.
Gayoso. Cabato.
Well, too bad you missed it, but during that break after the first quarter, Sonny Jaworski, the playing coach of Ginebra San Miguel, was slapped with a warning by referee De Leon and then a technical foul as Sonny Jaworski continued to protest what he felt was a non-call on that tap by Mark Stevenson on Sonny Cabato in the last few seconds of the first quarter. And that's why you had Mark Stevenson at the foul line at the start of the second quarter, putting in that free throw on the technical foul called on the playing coach of Ginebra San Miguel. 2 men have been sent in during the break for Ginebra San Miguel. Dondon Ampalayo and Bennett Palad. Ampalayo trying for a steal. Joy Carpio saving it, but not quite. Pido Harencio is back. Here's Bennett Palad inside. Goes for the hole.
Tough shot by Bennett Palad. Very creative.
But as we noted, even during his amateur playing days, Butch, Bennett Palad, once he gets the ball, will try for a shot the first occasion he gets.
Yes, as we say, Bennett Palad never met a shot he didn't like.
Precisely.
Joy Carpio is also in the ballgame now for Pepsi, replacing Abed Ginebra during the break.
Ginebra asking for the ball from Talio. Habar flies. And the 25-second shot clock caught up with the Pepsi Cola hot shot. Big rejection, though, there by Jervis Cole, which you'll see here. Well, already June Habar was soaring at that shot, but Jervis Cole caught up with him just the same.
Could have taken off quite early, trying to just float his way through, to the hoop. And Cole was there.
Tonichi Ituri is also in the game for Ginebra San Miguel. Bennett Palad, back-to-back hits. Puts Ginebra on top by 2 at 30-28.
Bennett Palad also hoping this is the year that he shines here in the PBA.
He is in his second year in the pro ranks. Joy Carpio is momentarily open. And that's going to be the fourth on Pido Harencio as he bit into the fake. Probably got it to the bench basket too. Foul number 4 on Pido Harencio, was the top local scorer for Ginebra San Miguel in the first game.
Carpio making the first free throw. Carpio in the first game had 9 points and 2 rebounds coming off the bench. One of the members of the very productive bench of Pepsi in that first game against San Miguel, although they did lose by 4 points.
Bennett Palad is being watched by June Habar. Wild pass.
Well, he thought Harencio would curl inside. Case of miscommunication there, leading to another turnover by Ginebra, which began the game with 0 turnovers in the first 8 minutes.
Well, Ginebra San Miguel did have a 12-point lead midway through the first quarter, only to see it evaporate behind a 13-1 run by the Pepsi Cola Hotshots, which led at the end of the first period 27-26. Getaway by Manny Victorino.
Well, Ituri played last year with Pepsi, so he is up against his former teammates in this game.
Tito Horencio calling out the play, and Mark Anthony Talio trying to disrupt it. It's called for his third. Oh, it's actually Manny Victorino is called for his third personal foul.
That forces Derek Kumaran to call Abed Gidaben off the bench once again. Replace Victorino. Gidaben actually began this game as a starter for Pepsi.
There you go, Tito Horencio already with 4 personals to his name. Bennett Palad off to Tunichi Ituri. Had the step on Abed Gidaben.
Ituri now will have to play a more active role offensively for Pepsi because, for Ginebra, unlike in Pepsi before where he can just back up Gidaben and Victorino, let them do the scoring and he does the dirty work. Now he has to do it, the work on both ends of the floor.
In the meantime, a deliberate foul is called on Jervis Cole, and found Joey Carpio hanging on to his jaw. Let's see what happened here. There's Jervis Cole and Joey Carpio bumping into each other.
Timeout, Pepsi.
So Jervis Cole will have to sit it out for 3 basketball minutes. As you see that once again. There.
This also happened in their game against Alaska. He's forced to sit down after a deliberate foul call.
Well, he'll have to watch it.
They're trying to have it downgraded to an elbow foul. No dice. Chilo Isaga will have to return to action for Jervis Cole, who won't be ready until about the 6.5 minute mark.
In the meantime, Joey Carpio will get 2 charities on account of that foul, deliberate foul called on Jervis Cole.
Second point in the game for Joey Carpio, who actually played college ball alongside his manager, Steve Watson,
for the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Yeah.
Dondalampala being watched by Carpio. Horencio gets it off to Bennett Palad. And on the drive, Mark Stevenson acknowledges the foul.
Although it's called against...
or is it against Bennett? Jude Habar, rather.
Yes. Stevenson should know that he should not sacrifice himself for those fouls, because as an import, he will be asked to play a lot of minutes. He had 5 fouls in the game against San Miguel Beer.
9:17 to go in the second period of this ball game between Ginebra, San Miguel, and the Pepsi HotShots. Bennett Palad makes the first free throw. And he now has 5 points in the game. Still a lot of misses from the 4.5 meter line on both sides of the court, actually. .32 all is the count. Stevenson curling against Dondonan Palayo.
Once again called for traveling on his pet move. Drags his feet a bit whenever he makes that turn to the hoop,
which causes him to travel. Here's Palad off to Horencio. Six seconds on the shot clock. A running shot there by Bennett Palad.
Palad's been making tough shots all afternoon long for Ginebra, given the T-way 3-point lead.
Mark Anthony Talio missing on that shot, and Bennett Palad for the rebound. Tito Horencio asking him to slow it down. Ituri working against Gidaben. They know each other well, but Tanichi Ituri is called for a traveling violation, so that shot won't count. We have Eugene Kilban coming in for Mark Anthony Talio.
Last year's Rookie of the Year, traded to another team before the start of this season.
Played for Alaska last year. Abid Kidaban trying to get inside. And Kenichi Ituri will be called for his first personal foul in the game.
Well, apart from Ginebra's mid-first quarter blast and then Pepsi's comeback towards the end of that period, this game has had no discernible rhyme or rhythm so far, Ed. Both teams have been trying to establish the inside game, trying to get some shots from the outside. Ginebra also trying some isolation plays, while Pepsi has been trying a lot of backdoor and decoy plays at the other end. So both teams have been experimenting a lot here in the first half, and let's see what that experimentation leads to as far as the second half is concerned, although we still have a long ways to go here in the second period.
Dondra Palayo has it against Joy Carpio. Chito Loizaga leaves it to Pido Haresio. Long jumper by Pido is short. Eugene Kilban spots Joy Carpio up against two.
Haresio knocking the ball away. Haresio not having a good game so far. Ed, 4 personal fouls, 0 points.
Stevenson trying a medium range jumper and missing it. Here's Haresio speeding towards the front court, but already the 5 hot shots are there. Dondra Palayo's triple V won't go, and Stevenson asserts his might off the boards. Pinpoint pass to Jun Habar, who misses the shot. What a heartbreaker there for Jun Habar.
However, there is a foul called against Dondra Palayo.
There's the pass by Stevenson. Habar had a clear lane, but he probably was nudged a bit in midair by Dondra Palayo, which cost him to miss the shot.
Well, Habar took off, and then he saw somebody coming in underneath him. Probably changed his shots and decided to protect his backside.
Well, he probably figured it's too early in his career to risk a major injury. Nonoy Chuatico has just been dispatched by Coach Jaworski onto the hard court for Ginebra San Miguel. So this is a pretty tall lineup here for the Ginebra squad.
Which is something you probably would not have had a chance to say in the last couple of seasons. Ginebra has good size overall, especially in the back court. But this time, Ituri losing the handle on that.
6 minutes, 57 seconds remaining in the second period. Deadlocked ball game at 35. It's our 8th standoff in the game. Stevenson being watched by Ampalayo now.
Boxing out, yes, by Ginebra San Miguel in that play. No blue shirts in the immediate vicinity of the shaded area.
Dondra Palayo posting up against Joy Carpio. Tries to curl, but that's going to be called as an offensive foul.
Yes, they've been very tight on those hooking violations. You see Palayo using his left arm to get past Joy Carpio that time. They've been very strict with that.
Yeah. Eugene Kilban. Here's Joy Carpio. Kidaban with a tight pass taken away by Nonoy Chuatico. Dondra Palayo up against Eugene Kilban. And Kilban just took it away. Habar off balance on the shot, but got it on the second chance.
Yes, lefty shot by Habar. He now has 5 points in the game.
Bad pass by Bennett Parra, and it's taken away by Pepsi. Stevenson off to Eugene Kilban. Kilban tried to get inside. The door slammed on it. And an offensive foul is called on Eugene Kilban as he tried to force the issue. Timeout is going to be called by Pepsi. 5 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Pepsi-Cola Hotshots with a 2-point lead at 37-35. Jervis Cole is still sitting it out. He has already served a 3-minute penalty on the deliberate foul, which was called on him. But play coach Sonny Jaworski has not made any move to return him to the fray. Lore Chuatico goes to Don Palayo. Bennett Palad goes for a three-point shot. Almost, but not quite. That's Tim Cohn there, watching the proceedings intently. Oh, what a pass inside to Mark Stevenson. And the Hotshots take a 4-point lead at 39-35. Chito Loizaga off to Nonay Chuatico. Chuatico will try to take advantage of his height advantage on Eugene Kilban, but Kilban with his quick hands tapped the ball away. Here's Jervis Cole reporting back for duty. Vice Tonichi Ituri.
And by the way, Ed Cole will be the subject, I believe, of our feature on KP
right.
at the half.
Which will be anchored by our colleague, Miss Catherine De Leon Villar. Joy Carpio, trying to get used to the new surname of Kathy.
Yes.
Still a 4-point lead here for Pepsi. Jervis Cole slamming into Mark Stevenson. Cole almost had the offensive rebound. Chuatico got it off to Don Palayo.
And Stevenson got off the floor, even tried to put a block against the Palayo.
And Derek Pumarin looking aghast. Down to a 2-point lead for Pepsi Cola. Abed Kiraben puts the ball on the floor. Misses the shot. Bennett Palad off to Chito Loizaga. Chuatico. Now he's been known to drill in those long boomers.
And we're tied once again at 39 all. Has been a very close first half, except for those two instances we mentioned in the first period.
As a steal by Jervis Cole, and the pass intended for Mark Stevenson, 3-on-2. And Eugene Kilban again breaking up the play.
Yes, it's 3-on-2 or 3-on-1 against Kilban. It's no sure thing.
Oh, yeah. As we said, he's got quick hands, quick feet.
And as a point guard, he knows which way the middleman of the break will opt to go to with anticipation.
3 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the second period. Bennett Palad to Nonay Chuatico is called for the traveling violation.
As he tried to go up against Eugene Kilban.
We've had a lot of that this afternoon.
Yes.
Still deadlocked at 39. 3.5 minutes to go in the second period. Stevenson being watched by Jervis Cole. Quick jumper by Stevenson. He gets the offensive rebound. Gets blocked by Jervis Cole. Abed Kiraben. And Stevenson finally draws it in.
Yes. Cole getting Stevenson on the blind side, but Pepsi stuck with it, and they got the basket still.
Dondra Palayo as Chuatico is posting up against Eugene Kilban, but, well, not much that Eugene Kilban could do with a shot like that.
Chuatico now with two outside jumpers since coming in midway through the second period.
Manny Victorino playing the high post. Mark Stevenson was trying to get open underneath, but Cole was wise to his move. Loose ball scramble, one out by Don Palayo. Chito Loizaga has it for Ginebra San Miguel. Bennett Palad pulling up, thinking about it. Got it.
3 points.
Well, this Ginebra team definitely carrying on the fine tradition of the Ginebra teams of the last few years. When the shot is open, take it.
Yes. Well, they have been scoring on the outside shots as Eugene Kilban misses, but Stevenson again with a second chance point, and he has 21 in the ball game already. 1 point lead here for Ginebra San Miguel. Then Chuatico is open for the triple V. And three straight long times by Nonoy Chuatico to put Ginebra San Miguel in the lead by 4 now.
Time down to 1:40 here in the second period.
Manny Victorino working against Don Palayo. No switch there. And he was left momentarily open by the Palad, however, with the rebound. Don Palayo did not learn his lesson.
Yes. Once again, Kilban picking his pockets.
And Kilban is clobbered in midair by Nonoy Chuatico.
Foul, Chuatico.
That's going to be the first personal foul on Nonoy Chuatico, the 16th foul for Ginebra. We have a timeout.
Timeout, Ginebra, San Miguel.
Only a minute and 17 to go here in the second quarter of the game between Ginebra San Miguel and the PEPSI HOTSHOTS. It is a 4-point lead by Ginebra, 47-43. A lot of the outside shots of Ginebra San Miguel have been falling, but Eugene Kilban has been trying to foil a lot of the plays being instigated by Ginebra San Miguel in this quarter. Of course, Eugene Kilban has been known to be pretty gutsy, trying to take the ball inside the land of the Giants.
And he makes both charities Kilban, the third point guard used by Coach Derek Pumaran in this game, still trying to find his place in the rotation here in the PEPSI HOTSHOTS.
Sadi Cabaco was open inside, and there's Eugene Kilban at work again. Another Pep 24 fast break in the offing. Eugene Kilban completing it.
Just don't let the ball hang around loosely whenever Eugene Kilban is around, because he's going to get it.
Sadi Cabato dishing it out to Jervis Cole.
Foul will be called on Eugene reaching in.
Foul, Kilban.
Second personal on Eugene Kilban. Coach Derek Pumaran has been using a lot of combinations in this ball game.
Yes, trying to find one that will work and give them an edge going into the break.
However, that free throw, Jervis Cole just gave Ginebra a 1-point lead at 48-47. Ginebra by 2 at 49-47. Only 41 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Mark Stevenson out to Manny Victorino. Kilban. Gidaban against Cabato. Double team on him by Bennett Palad. Victorino underneath. 4 seconds on the shot clock. He's blocked. Manny Victorino tries again and misses. And Bennett Palad has the defensive rebound with 15 seconds to go. Gondaran Palaya's pass inside, picked up by Nonoy Chuatico. Abit Gidaban actually had a piece of that ball. And Gidaban, with a long baseball pitch, it was way ahead of Ponke Alolor.
It's going to be a baseline inbound now for Ginebra with 6 seconds remaining. Plenty of time for several passes, actually.
Ginebra is in the lead by 4 at 51-47. Jervis Cole gets the inbounds, tries it from the corner. Sonny Cabato and Gondaran Palaya got it. And the buzzer catches up with them. Several attempts by Ginebra San Miguel in the last few seconds of the second quarter. They will have to be content with a 4-point lead, though. 51-47. Stick around for KP at the half, which will have De Leon Villar featuring Jervis Cole, and of course